All right, welcome back, everyone. Really feel honored by this next guest, Coach Danny Leyson, the coach at UC Davis. You were on the show to start the season. We had Tommy Kiesling on mid-season. It's been a heck of a run for you guys. Congrats on another Big West title. You've been at Davis for 13 years. You're, I think, the winningest coach in Davis history. Talk to us a little bit about this season. I've got a lot of questions for you, man, but talk to us a little bit about this season.
Yeah. First of all, it's the first Big West championship for us. This season was very interesting. If you look at our record, we've got like a 500 record.
You had the hardest schedule in college water polo for the first 2 months, I think, month and a half.
Yeah, for sure. I think those MPSF teams, once they get into like November or late October, they just keep playing each other over and over.
Yeah.
So the strength of schedule changes, but ours was definitely. And you know what? We made a tactical decision to have our schedule like that, hoping that we would be good at the end of the year. And sometimes that pays off and sometimes it doesn't. I've been through seasons where it hasn't.
Yeah.
This year, for whatever reason, and I know the reason why. And the reason why is because of the guys.
Yeah.
They've been absolutely incredible since day one. They've been so positive and joyous and just like laughing and joking and like ribbing each other and just like more laughter on this team than I can remember. And nothing ever really got them down, including me. I never was able to get them down when I was in my doldrums, I even had a funny conversation. We have weekly captains meetings where, the vibes are really important to us. We talk a lot about the vibes, and the guys were keeping the vibes up. If you watched us play, you saw our guys arm in arm during timeouts and quarter breaks, not timeouts, but quarter breaks. They would go stand and they would just stand in a circle and basically say what needed to be done. And they'd always like, the vibes would be really high. And then sometimes I'd be down on how we were playing, and I would enter into the circle, and one time one of my captains goes, "Coach, you're kind of bringing the vibes down when you come in. Can you not do that?" And I was like, you want to jump at the guy and be like, "What? No way, man." Yeah. Then I thought about it and I was like, crap. Okay.
A little radical candor for you.
But they've been great. And even in the toughest moments, they stayed positive. They smiled. And in the end, when we got through all those games and when we finally rested, our guys had a lot of energy, physical energy, but they also had the vibes going on. And man, they played with great energy in that Big West tournament. It was really fun to watch. I'm so proud of them.
And you've had years, Danny, where you've had great teams, like really well-known, established names and brands and teams, but haven't been able to kind of get to the mountaintop. This year you were, and congratulations to you guys for doing that. But I'll be candid with you. Prior to starting the season, you told me you've probably never heard of any of our guys. And aside from Baxter Chelsham and Tommy Kiesling, Baxter because he was at U20 Worlds and played National League, and he blocked a 5-meter that won the game for that junior team against our LA team, and Tommy Kiesling because he led your team in goals last year as a freshman, which was impressive. I couldn't name another one of these guys. Now, prior to coming on here, we've talked a lot about development, man. Do you mind sharing kind of your ethos here with everybody? Because I think it needs to be heard if you're okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, the recruiting process for us is unique. The way we do it is unique. The amount of time we spend actually talking to people on Zoom is unique. And so we're really, I kind of learned like as a coach here over time about just how we kind of operate with recruiting, where we don't really have all the information that we need, right? We're not able to get everything we need to know before these people show up on the pool deck. Yeah. And sometimes we're pleasantly surprised, like, wow, I didn't really realize how good this guy is. Or sometimes we're negatively surprised at, okay, this guy's not really prepared for this, or he's not going to last, et cetera, et cetera. So we really spend a lot of time on Zoom getting to know people so that we feel like they know us as coaching staff and we know them pretty well before they even set foot on the pool deck. And we have a good feeling about how a person's going to do in our program in this environment. And so we start with that. We start with that vetting of candidates and really trying to explore and get to know people as people, not just water polo athletes. before they get here. And then once they're here, then we start the work. We go to work with we like to develop players here. I like player development. It's one of the things that makes me the happiest. Really what it is I like to learn, and I like to watch people learn. It makes me happy to see people learn. And so we take great pride in the work, being really detail oriented. And I think our track record has shown that we've consistently taken lesser known names, and we've done a lot with it,
Yeah.
So I enjoy that aspect.
You certainly have. And for my money, you're one of the best, if not the best coach in the country. You do a lot more with lesser known guys than anybody else out there. That's a mark of a great coach, in my opinion, for what it's worth. Why haven't you taken a bigger job before? Because certainly you'd be eligible if anybody. Like, you look at every major sport. You look at basketball. You look at football. I mean, you probably don't follow hockey, but look at Jim Harbaugh. What goes to University of San Diego, then moves, up, and eventually gets the Stanford job. Right, he started at University of San Diego, which was an SDSU, maybe even prior to that, and then worked his way up. And that's Jim Harbaugh. You've got Mike Montgomery, who started at Stanford and then went to the Warriors. You've got the Celtics coach, Brad, I forget his name, was at a collegiate program, and not a great collegiate program, but built them up to be something special and took over the Celtics. So we see this in other sports. We don't see the kind of movement in water polo. You're a guy who could move. And so what has kept you at Davis for 13 years?
Well, first of all, I love this place. I set foot on the pool deck here in 2011 or 12 with Adam Wright when I was his assistant coach at UCLA. And I had never been here before, and I was very intrigued. First of all, by the amount of open space that is around here, having grown up in Orange County and lived in Los Angeles and gone from, my whole life. It was refreshing to me that you could arrive to the end of the city of Davis and it just be farmland in every direction. And that sort of provided like a relaxation and a comfort to me that I really liked. It doesn't appeal to everyone. It's more rural here than Orange County and Los Angeles. But the facility here is fantastic. And so I thought to myself, wow, this is really interesting. And then luckily enough, the position opened after that. So I went for it with all my might. And thanks to all my former bosses and coaches who helped me to be prepared for this moment, including Adam and Ratko Rudic and all those guys, Jovan, Jim Sprague, et cetera, et cetera. But the quality of life here for me suits me. I have young children. I'm able to see them regularly. I can ride my bike to work. It's a small town feel in a more rural environment. And I like that. And it's in Northern California. I always wanted to move to Northern California. And so here I am. But so the number one thing is I'm happy here. I like it. Number two is, in order for me to take another job somewhere else, I'd have to move. And I'm not going to move back to Southern California. That's just a fact. I was up for the Stanford job. I interviewed for it. I didn't get it. So once that happened, these jobs don't open up very often.
No, they don't.
And so it's not like there's, college football where they're opening like on a carousel every season. They don't open up, and then it's got to be the right one. But for me, this is the right place.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of what we've been able to accomplish here. And as we say amongst our team, no place I'd rather be.
I love it. Well, you're heading now to a new place, the NC2A tournament. You'll be taking on Stanford, a team you gave fits. I was fortunate enough to be on that game. In the second half, you came out, I'd like to say a little premonition on my part, because I think at halftime I said, this is what you need to do. And you did it. We weren't talking, but it was great to see you guys really gave Stanford some problems and exposed their defense, which has been vaunted. Very good defense the last couple of years. You want to talk about that matchup here? Are you guys excited? You looking forward to it? Is Davis ready to knock off a Big Four?
Can you remind me which game we came after them in the second half? I can't even remember that at this point. Was it in the MPSF? We played them twice. They smoked us both times.
Oh, they didn't smoke you the second time.
Well,
they maybe ran away at the end, but it was like a 1-2 goal game after being up 4 or 5 at half. I'll have to go back and look, but memory serves, I want to say mid-October.
At Stanford, yeah. They beat us 18-12. They ran away from us.
At the end, they did, yeah.
And we couldn't put the brakes on them. With their fast-paced and their giant Shaquille O'Neal-esque center that they have. It's like difficult to stop. UC Davis has never beaten Stanford, to my knowledge, ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so the odds makers in Vegas who are putting the odds out on this game are going to put the odds heavily in favor of the Card. And you know what? We're going to go out and we're going to play as hard as we can. And we're going to execute our game plan as well as we can. We're going to find joy in the competition, and we're going to bring the energy, and we're going to see what happens.
No better way to play. Free, open and free, right? Just come in and have as much fun as you possibly can and keep pushing for 4 quarters. Hopefully knock off a big 4. Well, we haven't ever seen it happen before. Yeah. You know, are the guys excited? Are they nervous? What's the vibe like with the group right now?
The vibes continue over here. I mean, these are special vibes, and they you don't always have them. It just depends on the personnel. But you know, even today, you know, in a pre-NCAA tournament practice, coaches is tense, and you know, the execution level sometimes isn't good when there's so many distractions, and you've peaked at a tournament. Now you got to go in the valley and come out and peak again. It's not easy, you know, and so things are going a little bit not. The execution sometimes isn't that great, but the vibes, guys are still enjoying practice, going after each other, giving each other a hard time, competing really hard with smiles on their faces. And so that can't help but rub off on me.
Who's your emotional vibe leader on the team?
We got a lot of them. Andrew Hitchcock. I mean, he's just
it's got to be Hitchcock, right? That guy gets out of the pool with a smile on his face every time.
It's a funny story about Andrew. Like, that Colin Nichols told me during the Long Beach game. So as is true to form for the Ags this year, like we had a fairly substantial lead in the last part of the game, and then we almost let it slip away again, right? We gave up 2 very easy goals. And I was like, oh no, here we go again. And from what Colin tells me, Andrew was in the water lining up after we had just taken a goal to go down by 1. And he turned to Colin and told him, "You better smile right now," right? And so he made like all of our guys, even though we're in a tense moment, loosen up and smile, you know. And I just think that was really funny to hear that, you know, like you demand that someone smile. But they've gone through it all. Andrew's definitely there. Waylon Fox is there. Will Stryker's there, and so many other guys. Will Fosselman, did I say his? I mean, he is. We got some real characters on this team that make it fun and funny a lot of the time. And I love that.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, they seem like a really positive group. We had the privilege of talking to Tommy Kiesling, as I mentioned, and he was really, you know, he talked about the team and the culture and like what everybody does things together. They're very much a together type team, very well formed, you know, bonded and galvanized by adversity throughout the season in such a tough schedule, but obviously staying very positive. Really, really exciting. Anything special you guys do in a week like this to prepare for the NC2As?
In this particular week, no. Basically, you know, there's not a lot of time this week, so we're just kind of trying to fine tune stuff as best we can. We'll do some special stuff when we get to the venue, right? Stuff to keep the mood light and things like that. We'll probably sing together like we normally do, and you know, and then we'll go out and play.
Your guitar.
I bring it. I'm going to bring it.
The guitar.
Yeah, for sure.
I just kind of want to be a fly on the wall in some of these team meetings. So very cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, Danny, I know you've got a lot of film to go watch, but anything, I mean, again, Davis is a really special place to you. You've been there a long time. A really cool opportunity, and congratulations on winning the Big West tournament for the first time in your career. But I do still think you're the most, I mean, you've got to be the winningest coach in Davis history. You've done an outstanding job with this team of guys as you put it, we've never heard of. And I love it. It brings, you know, smile to my face and joy to my heart to watch teams like this come together and have a shot. And we'll see what happens, man. But anything you'd like to leave us with and kind of share before you get back into the film room?
I just want to say thanks for all you do, and thanks for the interview. I really appreciate the opportunity to speak about our program and our guys. Like I said, I'm really proud of them, and you know, this is all them. So we'll see if we can keep it going. We got a very formidable opponent, indomitable almost, one would say, and so it's a great challenge for us. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, why not, man? Well, we'll see you on the deck in a few days. Have a great rest of your week of training.
Thank you.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye.